Hi, Chris here from Truly Holistic. Now, I'm doing this video because I had a client of mine ask me a question in regards to the crystalline energy tools, the neutralization sun ring, divinity ring. The question was, are the 13-inch rings bigger than the 9-inch? Okay, and they come in a variety of 4-inch, which is that one there, and the 9-inch one, which is kind of halfway between the 4 and the 13. This is a 13 here. I don't have a 9-inch with me in this room at the moment, so not 13-inch is very big, obviously, compared to the 4-inch, and then there's a variety that's about halfway between those two. Now, the range originally started with a 4 and a 13-inch range, and this was kind of deemed a practitioner size for people that were energy practitioners, and this is more for a personal size. Okay. Now, that question was, 9-inch is more powerful than the 13. Now, the 9-inch tool is kind of the next one that's the latest kind of design or shape or size of the neutralization ring or sun ring or divinity ring. And it's not necessarily bigger than obviously the 13. The 13 is the biggest size. Now, I did this video because people just feel like big is better, right? And when it comes to geometry and sacred geometry, it doesn't mean that at all. For example, with these tools here, a 4 and a 13, these both work just as well as each other. You'll notice that one's got bigger surface area, the 13 compared to the 4. So therefore, it will encapsulate more area within this ring standing over it compared to this one. So therefore, it may do the job a bit faster. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's more powerful, okay? The 9-inch variety is powerful because I've done a video beforehand, was the 9, the numerology of the 9 is very powerful, okay? It translates into love. And it just takes generally where the cosmos is, where we are in ascension. The 9-inch variety is the most powerful currently. May change. Energy always changing. But anyway, that was the answer to that video. Now, when we come to talk about tensor field energy and tensor rings, again, same thing applies. As we've got here a tensor ring, which is a qubit that I found or developed, which is a telomere activation qubit. And that is the full qubit, or 1 qubit of the ring. And then if you ratio it down to a half qubit and then a quarter qubit, that there is the quarter qubit of this ring. So you can see the size difference with the two, but the power of the ring is just the same for this one or this one. The only difference again is the surface area. See, that can be placed over top of the head like that, while obviously this one can't. So therefore it can work on a bigger area all at once. It doesn't necessarily mean it's stronger. Now, the power of a tensor ring is from its length, and anything to do with tensor technology and also a lot of geometry is based more on its length. And with tensor rings, it's the qubit, okay, which we call a qubit length, and that's what gives its power. It's not necessarily the fact it's copper, not necessarily the fact it's a twisted wire. Obviously, those components are important in regards to a tensor field, but the power is within its length. And if that length is just slightly off by a millimeter or two, then it does not work. Okay, and that's why you've got to be very careful where you buy tensor rings from. You need to know that that length has to be spot on for it to work. And if it's not, and if it's not done properly, then it can harm you. Okay. Geometry facilitates an energy, okay, unless you've got a geometry that is a source of energy. And the Tesseract, which is a tool I use now, is a source of energy, okay, and I use that for a majority of my clearings, but I also use a lot of other tools that facilitate a certain energy. Now, regards to tools like the Merkaba, Chesterhedron, the Vesica Pisces, and all those sorts of things, they're wonderful tools, and they can amplify your intent at a very strong level and a very deep level when you're using your intent with them. But what I came to find was that we look at things, the bigger the better, right? And we think we can just do it, just keep clearing and keep cleaning house, so to speak, with one big tool. But what I came to find, the power of geometry, is when we can use a number of things to put the odds in our favor. And the best way we can do that is having these geometries on us 24 hours, 7 days a week, not getting in your charts and having to clear stuff all the time that most of your time you're not even of your life you're not even enjoying or experiencing. You just keep clearing yourself and thinking there's more stuff to come out. The best way possible is having little geometries on you all the time, whether that's within your workspace, whether that's your home, whether that's on you, within your field, your bioenergetic field, which is my name of calling the aura, or the geopathic field, which is your outer environment field. Now, your geopathic field is within the geometry of a Merkaba, and then your bioenergetic field is within a tensor field, okay? Which makes a lot of sense because you're transmuting negative field into positive field. That's how you protect yourself. Now, you can do that by having little tools like this one here, which is a pendant, which is I make here at Truly Holistic, which is going to be a tool on my website very soon. It's got a little infinity, if you can see there, and it's connected to a little AccuVac. And what that does, it creates a little tensor toroidal field, which then pulls negative energy in and transmutes back into positive. Okay, so it's keeping that field clean all the time, and it's also being charged by infinity or infinite frequencies, which is just wise, having a bracelet, which I'm going to be bringing a range of bracelets to Truly Holistic as well, and that creates a field. And this is wonderful for anyone having pain in their hand or pain up the arm, because it's essentially creating a ring, tensor ring, where the field light goes up the arm and goes down the hand. So if you have any issues with carpal tunnel or anything like that, wonderful to wear. Actually, this one of the reasons why I got this was one day I was using my tools and using the like the Vesica and Chestahedron. You got this metal ramming right up against your hands and stuff, and all of a sudden I felt a lot of inflammation in this joint here and a bit of a bump form, and I was like, all of a sudden one night I was just using my, obviously picking something up, dropping it back down, and my thumb just went, it was just triggering. It wouldn't just smoothly go like that, it would just go there and then I was like, what's going on? Right, so I did some work on it using an AccuVac coil, very similar to one to this one. And when I was pulling stuff off, I could feel it in there. There was a lot of stuff that had to come out. It was removing the inflammation, helping the pain somewhat, but it was still trigger. And I thought, hey, I need something to work on it 24 hours, 7 days a week. And lo and behold, I got a bracelet that's got a little AccuVac on it, coupled with the tensor ring, and placed that on there, and within 2 to 3 weeks, thumbs back to normal. So it's wonderful for those sorts of things, which build up a calcification in the hands or the joints. People have got rheumatoid arthritis, wonderful. So having these little geometry tools on you, I also have, usually within my pocket, I have a little tensor ring like that, but smaller. And I placed it on my beverages or placed it under my coffee or whatever, and it changes the structure of it. This one is an RNA activated qubit, so that works on your RNA. This one here works on your telomeres, activating telomerase. And if anybody knows about telomeres, that's what regenerates your life. Telomeres is the ends of your chromosomes, and a certain part of your body that's aging a lot faster than the rest and it's breaking down, most likely have the telomeres or the chromosomes that are connected to that part of your body. Telomeres will be shortening. So this activates the enzyme telomerase and lengthen those telomeres, and that's the qubit that we use for that one. And I've also got another qubit I've developed too, which is called a Dragon Qubit that we're coming out. There's a new qubit as well, and this is got a lot of power to it. So anyway, I thought I'd do a quick video about it, just to answer that question. If anybody has thought about that before, it's not necessarily about size. It's about the right length, the qubit length, what that geometry is facilitating, what energy is facilitating. It doesn't mean that big is better. Okay, so I thought I'd do this video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.